These are the 3 mobs that are potentially going to be added into Minecraft: the sniffer, the tuff golem, and the rascal. When choosing which mob you should vote for in this game, there are a few things you need to consider, but the main thing is potential, right? You need to, instead of thinking about what this mob adds to the game, what this mob could add to the game is the biggest factor. So think about things like the glow squid. When we got the glow squid, the most exciting thing wasn't actually a glow squid. The most exciting thing was that signs were actually useful now. So you have to realize this with all of these mobs. It's probably less about the mob and more about what the mob does or adds that actually benefits the game. Don't vote for whatever's the cutest. Vote for whatever you think is going to make the game the best game that it can possibly be. This is just the general thing that you should do when voting. So of course we have these 3 mobs. The sniffer, I think, has a lot of potential because it actually is confirmed that it will come with a new plant type that it can dig up. So that is big hype for that. That would be super cool. And of course the model is also really cool, but again, it's less about the model. I think the functionality could also be really interesting. The fact that it digs up seeds, and also the fact that it is probably bred with flowers, and you can find eggs in underwater ruins. So maybe it's not even bred. Maybe the eggs, there's a limited amount of eggs in your world, and you can only find them in underwater ruins. It's going to be very interesting if it gets added. Same, I would say, for the tuff golem. The tuff golem is also a very interesting mob. It's sort of like, some people have called it a walking item frame. I do understand that. And what we know right now is it has this little toga thing, and it can pick up items that are laying on the ground and then either hold them and pose kind of with it like something in a museum, or it can walk around with it. Now, I don't know if you can tell it whether or not it should hold it or walk around with it. Like, I don't know if there's many settings or not, but that would be some potential for it, definitely. But either way, it's a decorational mob, which is something that has never existed in the entire history of the game. It could also sort of maybe have some use in either a random number sort of thing, or maybe even transporting items it could be good at. But I think its main functionality is to show off items. And so that leaves not a whole lot of room for potential, but I do think Mojang could go some cool ways with this. But I think the coolest thing about this is this toga thing, this cape, whatever it is customizable. You can change it based on the color of wool you use when you're actually making the golem. And so that is a really cool functionality. So again, if you like this functionality, then this is definitely the mob that you should vote for. Moving on to the rascal over here. It is a mob. It's got this cool model with the backpack and all that good stuff, but again, that is not what we are looking for right now. Right now we want to talk about functionality, because that is what you mainly want to vote into the game. From what we can tell, this is a guy that hangs around in mine shafts and maybe even all of caves, but definitely mine shafts, because that is what it was shown off in the trailer for it. And it can walk around, and when you look at it, it is very shy. It wants to hide, and when you look at it, it runs away and hides. And if you can find it 3 times, it is like an underground game of hide and seek, which can be very interesting in a mine shaft, because those things are practically a maze. A hide and seek game in a mine shaft could definitely be very fun. And if you win and find it 3 different times, it will drop you an item. Now, the item it dropped in the video was an enchanted iron pickaxe. That is not the most insane drop ever. It would be nice early game, but mid game, late game, end game, it would not be all that useful. So this is something to consider when wanting to vote for this. If you are an early game style player, where you really like the early game of Minecraft, then this would help you a lot more if you are late game, unless of course they change the loot tables, which they always could do. And it said he's not always going to drop the same thing. He's going to drop different things each time, so maybe sometimes there's a rare chance that he will drop a really good item, and that would be a reason why even late game you should try to find him, because there is a good chance that you could get something really good. So that is generally this, and the potential for this is maybe it could come with a mineshaft update. I do kind of doubt that, because it is just a mob, but it is indeed possible. So if you like the idea of having a sort of mini game, hide and seek kind of game in Minecraft, then this is definitely the mob you should vote for. So be sure to let me know down in the comment section which mob you are voting for, and without further ado, that would be it for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.